Hi everyone, we are back with another stream of the Wildcards competition. So we're waiting for a match between Krazycaley and Wodar. They are in the lobby, not quite ready yet. I am Snurf, and with me there is Titery and Yish.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So they'll be doing the commenting part while I'm occupied with running the stream and the production. And we were talking about contracts and the way they work now and how it's very difficult to make a profit with them.
Well, I mean, especially with players, especially some of them at a high level, like Wodar and Kaylee, the chance of a spy winning is just going to be so small.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
making a profit is rough.
Yeah, I mean, spy wins aren't. They're definitely uncommon, but they're not ridiculously rare. But I think the problem would be winning as a spy while trying to actually complete the contracts. Like, certainly the returning the guest list contract. I mean, I wouldn't be the most surprised if Wodar tried to do that, but it's the kind of thing. It's like doing
Wodar,
a whole
right?
other mission. Yeah, he is Wodar.
Indeed, yeah. So right now, I know that Krazycaley hasn't bought any contract. I haven't heard from Wodar yet, so we don't know yet if he has bought any. Hopefully, we'll know that before the game begins.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, wildcards are also a thing. Oh, we don't know what they're going to play yet, but Wodar has invested a lot in wildcards already.
Indeed, yeah. And and about stats on the game, at the beginning of the week, people are also taking wagers. So some of them are private. All the wagers put by the players themselves are private, but a part of it is public. And right now we have 8,500 for Kelly and 0 for Wodar. So there is a very big emphasis on Kelly winning this match.
I mean,
Yeah.
Kaylee is definitely going to be the favorite here. He was the winner of SCL. He beat Scientist, who's definitely one of the top players ever on Spy Party. So Wodar's got a big challenge to meet.
Yeah. But then, I mean, then there are also the wildcards in play. I figure, like, with a game like this where it's there's not a massive difference in skill. I feel like this is the kind of game where people are going to be wanting to use those wildcards, because if you're like confident that you're a lot better than someone, you're going to beat them, why waste wildcards on them, right? And if someone you think that they're just a lot better than you and they're going to just, wipe the floor with you, maybe you don't want to spend contracts just to give yourself a better chance, because I might still beat you. So I feel like trying to tip the balance in one of these closer matches is, and especially with Wodar, like, I don't know, I think he has a faulty scope. Like, if he could force Kaylee to
Kaylee also has a faulty scope.
That's true. It would be
They could
interesting
double force it on each other. Yeah. The entire match scoped in.
That would be quite the set.
That would be insane. Kaylee also has
has
purchased like an infatuation patch, so forces to reveal the ST. So I feel like that's a really strong wildcard to buy. I think Wodar might have bought it too, I'm not sure. But that's so strong. Seduce is one of the main missions that the sniper just has to assume is done. So knowing who it is can really change what you're gonna do as a spy.
Yeah, I mean, it almost like turns like such a soft mission like Seduce into more of a campable soft mission in a way, like Inspect is. Kaylee, known Inspect highlighter, being able to do something similar for Seduce would definitely give him an advantage. When normally a player like Kaylee would just completely ignore Seduce, and you can pretty much get it off of him for free.
Yeah, I agree.
So Wodar came back to me and said he hasn't bought any contract. So we'll be
Okay.
contract 3 on this match. They are right now discussing wildcards and just wondering how they work. If one pulls one out, can the other one respond immediately with another wildcard?
It would be interesting if Wodar changed every map to balcony.
So apparently, shoes and ground, so the wildcard which allows you to change map, has to be used before the start of the match. So Crazy doesn't have
Yeah.
this wildcard, so he probably won't be using it. We're waiting for Wodar. Okay, so they're both
He's
saying
not either.
they're both saying they won't use any wildcard before the match starts, but they might be using them during the match.
I am very certain one of them will definitely use it just to flip things around, especially if one of them is just having their way.
Yeah, that would be interesting if someone starts off the set strong and all of a sudden they get like, a faulty scope played on them, and the rest of the set just goes the entire other way.
Okay, so the game is being set up.
So, we have the list of maps we're going to be playing, right? So,
Yes. So it was on screen earlier. Let me pull that again.
First map will be 4 of 7, any 4 of 7 on high rise.
okay. I feel like I would be surprised if Kaylee lost this as sniper. I feel like this is a very camping friendly map setup. Like high rise 4 of 7, you either have to take off a hardtail and then he only has to watch 3, or a soft tail, in which case he can literally just camp hardtails and then catch you. And there's so few guests on high rise too. It's a very, I feel like high rise 4 of 7 is kind of like pub 4 of 7 in that it's really, really sniper favored compared to most other maps.
I agree. I think gallery is kind of like the other way around. That will also be played later on. And it's also any 4 of 7, except you have 20 party goers, I believe. So,
Yeah.
And the difficulty of that map is much higher than this. I feel like there needs to be kind of a balance in between the both of them. All right, we're starting it off.
Yep, it started. Kaylee as queen, grabbing an early flirt at the bookcase.
It's gonna get highlight for it.
Like, well, I think maybe just highlight to watch for any microfilms. Maybe for the seduce, it's possible. One thing about seducing at like bookcases or windows early is it's really easy to pair that, right? Like, because you're the only 2 people there. It's not like it's just standing next to them in a conversation. So doing it early could potentially hurt you, although it certainly gets you a lot of progress on the mission.
Kaylee's got another seduce. He's at 76%. One more decent seduce should get him there.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to stand right next to his ST either, so he's got a little bit more flexibility with that. I'm not even sure how closely Wodar is watching seduce.
He went right back in. He should be able to get it soon. Yep, he got it.
Yeah, it's nice to have that done early.
He's got 2 minutes to do 3 more missions.
Yep. It's interesting. Normally, I would say he can do double agent and maybe inspect or fingerprint in the hardtail. But on a map like this, double agent is really difficult, and inspect even can be pretty deadly.
Especially if you go
Oh.
into it late round.
He grabs the bug, and I don't think Wodar saw it.
Yeah,
He's zooming in looking for the bug, but it's too late. It's already happened.
Yeah, and Kaylee's not highlight anymore.
Yeah, so things are looking good for Kaylee so far.
It'll just depend if Wodar gets antsy if Queen goes to statues late game.
The purloin comes off, so if Wodar doesn't catch this, I don't see. Oh no, he's definitely aware of it. The lowlights immediately come out. Kaylee gets highlight again, but he didn't directly catch Kaylee, so if he can get one more mission done without convincing Wodar to shoot, then he should be in the clear.
I'm pretty sure that Kaylee's gonna get away with this too. If he just waits for the right time, because he knows that Wodar saw it. He just has to wait for the right time to do double agent. And I think he should be set, but it just depends, will the double agent be cooperative?
Yeah, I mean, that conversation, the big conversation he was standing in, has had the suspected double agent for a long time. So, and double agent is definitely something that's going to get Wodar to think of shooting when purloin has already gone off. So, I guess we'll see right here if it kills him or not.
And it really depends if Wodar is going to be antsy or not. And the BB goes off?
No, he's getting low lights, so it looks like he's not going to be shooting.
Oh, he took a shot.
Shot does come off, but
That is
wrong
not correct.
target.
Kaylee takes the first spy game.
Yeah, that was a good game by Kaylee. Yeah, the bug was nice because he got it as soon as the Amba came into conversation, so Wodar didn't really have time to adjust for that.
Yeah, and he was worried, especially that purloin has already been completed. Spies are usually going to be very antsy if a BB goes off late game. I'd be very inclined to shoot if I knew purloin was already done. I would assume softails were almost done too.
Yeah, Wodar absolutely was correct in taking some shot there. And it feels like it was almost going to be a 50-50 because it was Queen and Pearls in that conversation. Oh, okay, the next game has started, so let's talk about this now. Wodar is Taft.
Swap is still taken off.
Whoa! Oh, was there a attempted bug there? Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's attempted bug.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Kaylee
you can
is
see his left
on
arm
top
just
of
sticking
that.
out.
Yeah, it didn't even take, but
I was confused because I didn't see any missions go off, and I was like, what? But Kaylee's just on top of things.
Yep.
Very nice by him. And Kaylee will sweep this map 2-0.
Yeah, so, and he only needs 6 games to win this, so he's already a third of the way there in a 12-game set, so off to a good start.
Yep.
I mean, the time of chaos can potentially be a great time to bug, but Kaylee is the kind of sniper who will specifically be watching for bugs in the time of chaos because he knows people like to do them, and he does not want to miss a hard tell. So,
Yeah. And especially since Wodar took off swap, Kaylee's not going to be memorizing statues right away.
yeah, oh, that's true too.
So
Yeah, if
he
you're
doesn't
gonna
have
go
to
for
spend that
something
extra
like that.
time to make sure no one's rushing statues. So he immediately looks there. And the next game started. This is 3 of 5 pub.
Mm-hmm. Standard mission layout on this. No purloin, no swap. I think that's why sometimes people like to keep purloin on this map and turn off maybe fingerprint. Oh, Kaylee gets highlight for the time ad. And he goes for another time ad
And yeah,
gets shot.
he's shot. That was a little bit foolish, I think. There's no reason to go for the time ads. That maybe one is enough, but
Yeah, one is plenty, and he saw the laser pass over him too, so he had to think that maybe he caught some heat for that.
Yeah,
Or I don't know,
Kaylee's
maybe
probably
he
just hoping
figured.
to catch Wodar off guard. Wodar probably thinks that Kaylee's just going to play this round normal, right? So throwing him off, especially after being up 2-0 with something as crazy as this, he was thinking maybe he could shake Wodar, but Wodar's on top of things.
Yeah, and maybe he figured since Wodar didn't shoot right away for the first time ad, maybe he figured Wodar just wasn't watching that at all. But, I mean, he was, so.
All right, starting up. Wodar's a spy.
Oh,
So
Wodar
Bug is
killing
off.
Bug here. I mean, that's the Wodar thing to do. I feel like Purloin is a lot weaker than Bug on this map, but
It's just you have to wait for the perfect time to do it. Like you have to be so lucky with how the AIs cooperate with you. You have to have like maybe 3 or 4 go up to the bar, and then each of them go back to CC for you to really
Yeah.
confuse the sniper. And it's just the chance of that happening is so small.
especially on standard pub. Like on crowded pub, it's one thing, but on standard pub,
sometimes you can rush like with 6 people at the start of the game at the bar, and it's just impossible to keep track of. But regular 3-5 pub is definitely a different beast.
yeah, like right now it's 30 seconds into the game and there's only 2 people with possible delegates. It doesn't look like Wodar even bothered to. Oh no, he did delegate, but I wouldn't expect him to actually go through with it here.
Sometimes using Purloin can be good bait if you can really bait. If you can get lucky and have an AI from the bar come and immediately talk in your CC, you can bait as the delegated. But once again, that's very rare. And then even then, it's still down to 2.
Yeah, but it's always a cool play when it works. I feel like the issue though is that if they haven't also been to statues or something, or if you can't get a good like fake banana bread frame on them, you're just not going to. They're just not going to get shot anyway. The sniper or a good sniper might just wait you out and nobody gets shot, or you try to complete missions and even though you were the purloiner, you end up shot.
So Wodar finished the deuce there, but he's got 1:30 to do 2 missions.
Yeah, looks like. Oh, I was gonna say swap, but no. Fingerprint is going to be one of them. Kaylee is definitely tracking that though. And even after that, he'll have to get a banana bread in or go to statues. And you do not want to fingerprint and inspect on this map, especially against Kaylee. He will just shoot for that.
Wodar isn't getting the best luck with his AI friends. Most of them, 4 of them actually, sorry, are just chilling in CCs. So it's kind of hard for Wodar to really place the blame on anyone right now. He missed the difficult fingerprint.
Yeah, if he had gotten that would have been game. Because Kaylee hasn't shot yet, and he has no way to know if that was green or red test. So either Kaylee missed that had a half fingerprint on it, or he didn't want to shoot for just that. But unlucky for Wodar to not get that.
And he goes for the second briefcase. Kaylee should definitely notice this. But he doesn't look like he's going to shoot.
Yeah, I guess.
I think maybe Kaylee was a bit more concerned with the bug. Oh no, the bug was off, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really know what Kaylee was looking for then.
I mean, maybe he figured because BB hadn't gone off yet that he was in the clear. But, I mean, getting those 2.5 inspects, really, if you count the difficult fingerprint, Kaylee should have been on top of that, I think. should have been on top of that. He should have either assumed that he had seduce done, or possibly had some inkling that it was going to be done. And between that and inspect,
2 sweeps in a row. Caley swept High Rise and Wodar swept Pub. In a surprising turn of events.
yeah. So tied up now as we go to Gallery 4 of 7.
Yep, and as we were saying, this is the much harder version of High Rise. You've got many more partygoers, and there's a limited field of view. Like, you can not really look everywhere on the map at once.
Well, Gallery is interesting in that it's one of the few maps where like you can have the entire map on your screen at once, but the issue is you still can't look at everything at once. You still can't see everything that's happening at once. So
that's the main hard part. Like, for example, if the Amba is outside in a CC of 5, you pretty much have to watch that exclusively to make sure no one gets a bug, because you could just have inspect, seduce, and maybe fingerprint done.
Exactly.
Contact. So it's really hard to guard everything at once on this map, in my opinion.
Yeah, because while the Amba's outside, right? If you're paying your attention guarding him, you can't zoom in because you won't be looking at him at all, and you can't really guard Purloin very well. So a good spy watching and seeing that the ambassador is in a precarious spot in the front of, in the outside part of patio of gallery, will know that it's a good time to Purloin. And
it can be tricky to Purloin on this map as well, especially in the very back CC. You can get a lot of people in there, and it's really tricky to do. If there's a green test, especially, how do you know which person refused the last drink? So it can be very, very tricky. So I'm excited to see how this one will go down. I personally struggle with Gallery. I've been trying to practice it lately, but I don't know how everyone else does. Some people prefer the map.
Yeah, I think it's all right. Most old art maps, funnily enough, I mostly like, except Balcony, I guess. But Gallery's not my favorite map, but it's not the worst either. But it's the kind of thing that certain styles of play are going to struggle with, like all maps, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
So just to fill you in on why it's taking a little time, Wodar is asking about what happens to the wagers in case of a tie. So I'm waiting for answer on that. So maybe he's trying to deploy a strategy and maybe thinking of using wildcards. So we'll see.
Yeah, that would be interesting if at this point a wildcard started getting played.
So for ones like Faulty Scope, I think it's just on one map in particular. So Wodar or Kelly might make a choice depending on it. I don't think Gallery is a good choice on this map because a lot of the time you want to stay zoomed in my opinion, because it's just so you don't have to go left and right very much. On a map like Courtyard 2, that could be very strong, just because you have to move around so much and your movement speed is way lower. But on Gallery, it's just maybe like move up and down a little bit, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, although Faulty Scope actually does last for the entire set. Iceman has said that wildcards last for the entire set unless stated otherwise, so I just checked.
So
Faulty Scope doesn't say anything about only one map. Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing that would have been best to play at the start, but I can see maybe they figured that they would be doing better than they are now, and I can see someone playing it later on as like a panic measure. But given that they're tied up, I mean, I wouldn't play Faulty Scope in their position, but
I would agree.
We'll see. It looks like not, though, because the game seems to be starting.
Okay.
Kaylee has Tux. I don't know the names of the old art characters, but he's got a tuxedo. Microfilming right away. his arm was hidden in the wall, but that was a white test, so his head was clearly visible. Even though he's got a highlight, though, I don't think Wodar really saw that.
And Kaylee cut Purloin.
That's an interesting choice on this map.
Sometimes it can be really difficult to guard, but I would rather guard. I might get rid of microfilm or fingerprint, in my opinion, or swap. Microfilm, for me at least, one of those choices, depending on how the game's going.
Yeah, but Kaylee is a noted proponent of the inspect swap strategy, and I can see him wanting to leave that option open for himself. So
yeah, I agree.
But Purloin is just so strong on this map.
And the end of red.
And the BB goes off.
It's always tough to.
He gets a nice set.
A lot of lowlights from that actually.
That was very strong.
Yeah, and normally on gallery you can get a banana bread off without giving away that many lowlights, but.
And Kaylee looks like he's about to microfilm. Yeah, he's gonna transfer microfilm here.
Yeah, he's got decent cover.
But he saw it. Yeah. He saw the head turn.
I mean, white test microfilm is kind of death on this map. He really needed a green test there, even with the cover.
Yeah, in old art especially, it's much more apparent that they're microfilming.
Yeah. Very, very obvious. But, sometimes the sniper's looking away, but if they're in any way focused on you, there's no way they can miss that.
Okay, so Wodar bans swap here. It's a normal choice on this map.
Yeah, I like swap a lot more than Purloin as a ban target, but...
Wodar's ST is the only one outside on the patio. It's coming back. Maybe he'll be able to get some seduces here. A lot of people on the big CC.
Yeah, immediate banana bread. That had a lot of people in that conversation circle, but I'm kind of surprised. Well, I was almost wondering if Wodar was going to go for the BB Purloin because the waiter went right up to him and offered him a drink.
And yeah, now Kaylee's narrowed it down to 2. That was a really good play.
Yeah, I'm not sure from what though, because nothing other than the banana bread has happened yet.
I'll rewatch it.
It almost seems like...
I'm not sure. I think it might have been talking animations he was counting. But I really don't think he would have gotten that many.
It seems... Oh, it seems possible that he thought that Toby... somebody left Toby waiting too long, but he wasn't sure if Toby was offering to Plaid Dress or Yellow Danger. So he thinks one of them is the spy for making Toby wait too long. Ironically, I think Toby was actually offering to... No, he was offering the Yellow Danger, so yeah. He feels like Toby offered the Yellow Danger too long. Is my guess, at least, because other than that, Kaylee doesn't really go for those kind of lowlights. I doubt Wodar has any idea that he's under this much suspicion, though, so I feel like as soon as he starts doing missions, he's gonna get himself shot.
I mean, he is close, relatively. I mean, he has to do one more inspect, and he's got to do one more mission after that. It just really depends on how active Plaid Dress gets. She did one fingerprint. She picked up a briefcase. So Kaylee's definitely on top of that with only 2 people. So it just depends if she'll stay active or not.
Yeah, right now she's just hanging out in a conversation circle though, and I feel like if she doesn't do much else, Wodar might get shot just for going back to statues to finish that inspect.
Oh, I agree.
And Kaylee is definitely going to be on top of this Purloin. Is he? Yeah, he should be seeing it now.
And he shoots Wodar for it. There we go. I'm gonna rewatch that spot where Kaylee just lowlighted everyone. Let's see what he thought. Yeah, it was for that reason you were saying. He's standing to the right, and he didn't know if it was offered to Platt or Yellow Danger. They're both pretty much blended together in that situation.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you were saying about green test purloin on this map, how sometimes you're not even sure who rejected for the green test, except instead of a purloin, it was just the semi-hard tell of making Toby wait too long.
It might have been because he was in B. He was contacting Double Agent, so he might have been talking and couldn't refuse for a long time. And then Kaylee was like, okay, he's talking, he should be refusing soon, and then didn't refuse.
That's a good point. Although that doesn't explain the highlight of plaid dress too, so I think maybe his thought process wasn't so much about the talking, but the reason that Wodar took so long to refuse certainly would be.
Yeah, I agree. And now it's tied 3-3. Pretty close. And
Yeah,
the next map's gonna be Double Modern 3 of 5.
Okay, that's interesting. This is definitely a campable map. Like, if you can make sure nobody gets bug or purloin past you. Well, bug, purloin, or fingerprint. The fingerprint is basically a hard tell on this map.
This map is very, very tricky. But I mean, if you get off one phantom bug, it's just really, really hard to win as a sniper.
Yeah. I mean,
so Kaylee went for the insta purloin and gets shot for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens sometimes, I guess, when you go for a purloin on Double Modern.
Yeah, he saw that Alice had taken the drink beforehand, so he knew it couldn't be a green test.
Yeah, it was an okay effort, though. I mean, it was relatively early in the game, so maybe he was hoping Wodar was looking at seduce things and stuff like that and not worrying about purloin yet. But Wodar was on top of it, so...
And Wodar gets the green flirt, 51% as Seek. With Twin as the ST. And highlights go down. I think that's because of Wardar's second talk. But he's at 92%.
Yeah, I mean, if this were Double Modern known too, he would basically be on his way to winning. Like, all he would need is one more talk in any place in the conversation with his ST, and then the banana bread bet. Unfortunately for him, he still has to get a hard tell past Kaylee. A hard tell or a fingerprint, which, again, is basically a hard tell on this map. You're not going to have an AI grab a fingerprintable object twice when the only stuff is a briefcase and the occasional drink.
Unless he hits a difficult fingerprint, like Wodar attempted on Pub. If he actually gets it, that could be a huge turnaround.
Banana bread.
Yeah, although Kaylee says he watches those too. I mean, obviously he misses them sometimes, but on this kind of map, that's the kind of thing that Kaylee's going to be watching for, and is not likely to miss.
Kaylee's just spotting for that walking bug on Taft there. Didn't see anything though. And both of his other highlights have completed one fingerprint each. So if they do one more fingerprint, it could be a very suspicious tell for Kaylee.
That's true. Although, for now, the briefcase is just sitting in the corner. Yeah, is Wodar going to purloin here? Yeah, and that might get him shot right there. If it doesn't, yeah, there it goes. Shot
Kaylee shoots.
So, well played by Kaylee. And they're now tied up 4-4.
Yeah, I guess he didn't know. No, Wheels took a drink right beforehand, so he did know it wasn't a green. Because I didn't think he saw the slip fade, but he definitely knew that Wheels had taken a Dream Blast.
Yeah.
Kind of close though. Wodar's been making these very, very, very close. But, I mean, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Not in Spy Party.
Yeah. So...
Now, Kaylee's gone for something very fast, very early every round. And I thought that Kaylee attempted a bug, but I'm not sure. He definitely didn't stick though.
And the end of red.
Yeah, no bug attempted. It would be obvious on Wodar.
Yeah.
In this kind of map, but goes for the early BB again, so he's already got 1.5 missions done. But Wodar has a decent amount of lowlights off the BB.
Yeah, I mean it's not that many, and I think Kaylee's process is that if I do BB earlier, and I don't do it rather than later, maybe I won't be a suspect. Kaylee gets highlight, possibly for chasing ST.
Oh, the bug comes off while Wodar is on the other end of the statue.
That's very, very strong.
Yeah, perfect timing by Kaylee there, and a bit of an oversight by Wodar, because if he had been on top of where the Amba was, he could have swung around in time. And Kaylee's just going for the win right here.
Going very quickly.
Swapping the statue, not even bothering with the inspect. Wow. I mean, it gets it done faster, and Wodar isn't... Yeah, he's not looking.
He's just blocking, yeah.
So Kaylee just won 5 of 7 courtyard there.
4 of 7, but...
Well finishing the inspect.
I didn't notice. No.
I almost feel like Kaylee is playing this a little not super seriously. I mean, this tournament is certainly not as serious as the SCL, and stuff like the swap in the inspects or the double time add on pub. It seems to me like Kaylee is kind of just trying things out, doing things for fun, which is good because I feel like this is a fun kind of tournament.
I agree. I mean, he wasn't forced to play in this tournament. He just said, I'll sub if I need to. So he might not be that super invested in this.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, in the kind of tournament where, like, your opponent can buy wild cards and force you to zoom in for the entire match, you can't be too invested in winning and losing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Wodar is cameraman?
Yes, Wodar is as other Spy player can.
If Wodar does win this game, they will tie.
Yeah. So.
And when that happens, each player will get $1,000, and all bets will be refunded. I believe that's what the case is. You can double check with Iceman.
That sounds right. So. I'm hoping for a decisive result, just because ties are kind of boring, right? And this is wildcards, so we want things to be exciting. But
it also depends. I mean, a lot of money has been placed on Kaylee in this match, so this has got a lot of hopes riding on it for Kaylee to win.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting if Wodar won and lost everybody.
Oh, we got the bug.
Money. Yeah, the bug comes off.
I didn't see that. That was very nice.
That was a kind of like Kaylee did with Queen in that first high-rise game. Bug as soon as the Amba enters conversation and just don't give the sniper a chance to adjust to them being there.
Did see that barely stick out, but the chance of that happening, and BB comes off.
Yeah, and he's not highlight for anything, so.
General is also in the way of Wodar's bug there, which would made it very nice. Now all he needs is 2 inspects, or will he swap? Nah, he's gonna just go for the inspects.
Yeah, and I would be surprised if Kaylee shoots here, because he doesn't believe the bug has gone off, and He's not going to shoot unless
Yeah,
he
he
thinks.
believes in his abilities to camp, but he just missed the bug. It was very nice timing by Wodar there.
Yep.
And
so
we end this with a tie.
yeah,
GG's to both players. They both played this very, very well.
they certainly did.
Indeed, that's a tie, a very close match. Do you have any final thoughts on the match or on the competition and its format?
I'm excited, honestly. They've said that they're changing the format each week. I know nothing about this. I'm just a player. And, I'm really excited for like what each format's gonna bring. Especially the co-op mission seems really interesting. I'm pretty excited to see how double, like, is there gonna be 2 spies and 2 snipers, 2 separate games going on at the same time. I'm just intrigued at what's gonna happen. Thanks for Iceman for organizing all this and making this awesome. The Spike Party community really likes competitive stuff.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good tournament, and I'm excited to see what they have in store for us next.
Indeed. So as far as I know, the next scheduled match is Scallion versus Kicker, and that will be happening Sunday at 3 p.m. PST. I don't know if there is any plan to stream it yet, but I'm sure someone will come up with something at some point. So your caster tonight have been Yish. Do you have any social media thingy or Twitch channel to plug now?
I do have a Twitch channel. I've streamed maybe 3 times. I am excited in streaming though. I've been following all these sorts of streamers, and maybe if this game becomes popular, I'll stream it more often. People enjoy watching it, obviously.
Yeah, I actually started streaming last week, and it's quite fun. And your other caster was Teetery. Do you have any social media you want to plug?
Not really. I technically have a Twitch channel, but I do not stream. But so no, nothing to plug really. But thanks for having me.
Later. And I am Snurf. I also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Snurf. Thank you all for watching. Have a good evening, and we'll meet you again for the next competitive event. Bye.
Sign off.
See ya.